The second reason to study public policy as an academic discipline or as a professional undertaking or as a research undertaking or as an advocative effort is to know why governments actually make policies. And it's also very important to know or to understand public action. It's very important for us as students of public policy to understand why a particular government make particular decisions. A particular decision. Some governments work under public pressure. They make policies or change policies under public pressure, public pressures. Some governments make or change policies because of their party manifestos. Some governments make particular policies under international pressures. And some governments just respond to the agitational politics. If we want to understand and change public policies, or if we want to improve public policies, which is the subject matter of, or which is the ultimate purpose of studying public policy, we need to understand why a particular government makes particular policies. Which influences are important for a government when it makes certain policies. There are some governments which make policies to solve problems, and there are some governments which don't make policies primarily to solve problems but to meet international requirements. For example, many governments across the world make policies to deal with the child labor or to stop violence against women or to reduce gender equality in their countries because of international pressures, because they have committed to the international community to make those laws. So if we know the drivers of change, the drivers of policy reform, the drivers of policy improvement in a particular country, perhaps we can contribute or to improve policies, and we can use those drivers to change policies for the benefit of the people. Okay, policy generally, if you understand policy, it is generally an exercise in problem solving. But governments don't solve all social problems. We know that from our experience. There are so many problems which are urgent, which are highly important, and which affect a lot of people, but many governments don't do much about those problems, and sometimes they make policies and they allocate funds for the problems which are not highly urgent or not highly important. And sometimes governments prefer not to do anything about certain problems. If we can know why governments make policies about certain problems and don't make policies about other problems, perhaps we are in a better position to contribute to policy reform. If we can identify the problems and the areas governments don't do anything about, perhaps we can mobilize people to pressurize or to convince governments to do something about the most urgent problems. So it's very, very important for public policy students to know why governments react to some social, economic and political problems in a positive way and to others in a negative way, where they take action and where they remain silent. If we can know that, we can contribute a lot to policy reform and policy change.